Imagine living in the 1600s, gazing at the sky, trying to unravel the secrets of the stars. People still believed the sun revolved around the earth, and science was in its infancy. But there was one person who boldly changed this way of thinking. That person was Johannes Kepler. He didn't just look at the stars, he sought to understand them. It was as if he could read the language of the cosmos. Thanks to Kepler's discoveries, we today understand how planets move and why their orbits are elliptical. Without his calculations, neither Isaac Newton's law of gravitation nor modern astronomy could have advanced so far. Yet Kepler's life was far from easy. Poverty, religious conflicts, personal tragedies. Despite all this, he continued to believe in the harmony of the universe. Fact 1. A genius born into a humble family. Johannes Kepler was born on December 27, 1571, in a small German town called Weil der Stadt. His family was not wealthy. His father, Heinrich Kepler, was a mercenary soldier often away on campaigns, and his mother, Katharina, practiced folk medicine, making remedies from plants. Kepler's childhood was far from easy. The family constantly struggled financially. His father's long absences and his mother's unusual temperament created a tense home environment. Young Johannes was physically and emotionally frail, but these hardships strengthened his character. Interestingly, his mother Katharina was later accused of witchcraft, a reflection of the dark superstitions of the time. Despite all these challenges, Kepler was not discouraged. Instead, he decided to understand the world through the power of science. Fact 2. Little Kepler, enchanted by the sky in his childhood. Johannes Kepler's childhood was far from easy. Born in 1571 in the small German town of Weil der Stadt, his family was poor and his life was filled with hardships. His father was a soldier, fighting in wars and often away from home, while his mother was a woman interested in natural remedies and magical herbs. His early years were marked by poverty and illness. Kepler was often weak, sickly, and lonely. Yet these challenges enriched his inner world. From a young age, he loved gazing at the sky. Once, his mother took him to the top of a hill to watch a lunar eclipse. The star-filled sky and the shadow covering the moon left such an impression on little Kepler that the memory stayed with him for life. He later wrote that, on that night, it felt as if the universe had begun revealing its secrets to him. At school, he showed a special interest in mathematics and astronomy. His teachers were amazed by his sharp mind and endless questions. While other children played, Johannes spent his time with numbers and star charts. Sometimes he would sit in a corner, drawing the movements of the moon and planets in his notebook. Even then, he wanted to understand how the universe worked. The little boy who gazed at the sky in his childhood would grow into a genius who discovered the mathematical laws of the cosmos, and the world would never be the same again. Fact 3. School years and his passion for science. Johannes Kepler's youth was filled with a deep and unwavering passion for science. From an early age, he stood out as a smart, observant, and critically thinking child. Coming from a poor family, his educational opportunities were limited, but Kepler's diligence and talent earned him a place at university. He received a scholarship to attend Tübingen University, where he studied mathematics, astronomy, and theology. These years became a turning point in his life as he learned to balance scientific inquiry with religious thought. At university, Kepler was introduced to Nicholas Copernicus's heliocentric system for the first time. At that time, many people still believed the Earth was the center of the universe, but Kepler did not merely accept Copernicus's theory. He studied it deeply and began making mathematical calculations to prove it. The idea of the sun at the center of the cosmos inspired him greatly, but also brought challenges, as it was not widely accepted yet. Kepler spent nights observing the sky, recording the movements of the planets in his notebooks, and days performing mathematical calculations. He didn't just study celestial motion, he sought to understand the harmony and order behind the cosmos. His teacher, Michael Maslin, secretly supported Copernicus's ideas and encouraged Kepler to think along these lines. This mentorship fueled young Kepler's passion for science and prepared him to discover the laws of the universe. Soon, Kepler emphasized in his writings that the universe was governed by God's mathematical plan. For him, science was not just about gathering knowledge, it was about understanding the universe God had created and uncovering its harmony. Observing the stars was not only an intellectual pursuit, but also a spiritual experience. Even as a young man, Kepler realized that his future discoveries would not only transform science, but also change humanity's view of the cosmos. Fact 4. Fate intersects with Tycho Brahe. A turning point in Kepler's life and career came with his meeting the famous Danish astronomer Tycho Brahe. Tycho Brahe was known for collecting the most precise star observation data of his time. Kepler wanted to work with Tycho as one of his assistants, and his wish came true. In 1599, Kepler traveled to Prague and began collaborating with Tycho Brahe. Tycho had spent years gathering accurate data on planetary movements but needed a mathematician to analyze it, a role Kepler filled perfectly. When Tycho Brahe passed away, Kepler inherited all his observational records. These records became the foundation for Kepler's major discoveries. Using Tycho's data, Kepler discovered the elliptical orbits of the planets, revolutionizing astronomy. This collaboration secured Kepler's immortality in the history of science. Tycho's precision combined with Kepler's mathematical skill revealed the laws governing the motion of the cosmos. Fact 5. Discovery of the planet's elliptical orbits. One of the most significant and revolutionary aspects of Johannes Kepler's scientific legacy was his discovery that planets move in elliptical orbits around the sun. At that time, the majority of people, following the traditions of Aristotle and Ptolemy, believed that planets moved in perfect circular orbits. The idea of circular orbits was associated with perfection and had been accepted in science for centuries. While examining the precise observational data collected over years by Tycho Brahe, Kepler realized that this classical view was incorrect. By calculating the positions of the planets accurately, he discovered that their motion around the sun was not perfectly circular, but elliptical. This became his famous first law, Kepler's law of orbits. Kepler's discovery brought a radical shift in astronomy, as it allowed planetary motion to be explained more accurately and precisely. This discovery was not only theoretical, but also had practical importance. With Kepler's calculations, astronomers could predict planetary positions with precision, which facilitated the work of future scientists and laid the groundwork for Newton's law of gravitation. The discovery of elliptical orbits was a major step forward in humanity's understanding of the laws governing the cosmos. Thus, Kepler left an enduring mark on the history of astronomy, explaining planetary motion in a more realistic and scientific way, and revealing the mathematical harmony of the universe. Fact 6. Kepler's laws and harmonicas. Mundi Johannes Kepler did not limit himself to merely observing planetary motion. He sought to uncover the harmony and mathematical order behind the cosmos. In 1619, he published his famous work, Harmonices Mundi, The Harmony of the World. In this book, Kepler explored the relationship between planetary movements and music mathematically. By calculating the differences in the planet's orbital speeds and their distances from the sun, he demonstrated that the universe moved according to a mathematical and musical order. Kepler called this idea the music of the planets. Each planet's motion contributed like a note to the harmony of the cosmos. In this work, he also introduced his third law. The square of a planet's orbital period is proportional to the cube of its average distance from the sun. This discovery marked a shift from observation-based astronomy to a mathematically grounded science, allowing planetary motion to be explained accurately and scientifically. Harmonices Mundi also carried philosophical significance. Kepler viewed the universe as God's mathematical plan, with each planet's motion forming a part of this design. For him, the beauty of the cosmos was not only in the visible celestial bodies, but also in the mathematical harmony and symmetry of their movements. He likened the universe to a musical instrument, with each planet acting as a note in the grand cosmic symphony. Kepler's ideas transformed the way future generations viewed astronomy. Harmonices Mundi stands as a testament to his genius, using Tycho Brahe's observations and mathematical analysis to uncover the laws of planetary motion. These discoveries later paved the way for Isaac Newton's law of gravitation, enabling humanity to understand the laws governing the universe more deeply. Fact 7. Religious and scientific tensions. Johannes Kepler's life and scientific work were not only about observing stars and planets, but were also filled with religious tensions. At that time, Europe was still divided along religious lines, with ongoing conflicts between Protestants and Catholics. Kepler himself was Protestant, which made living and working in many cities and universities difficult. Although he studied at Tübingen University, a Protestant institution, religious conflicts continued to pose significant obstacles throughout his career. Kepler constantly sought to reconcile his science with his religious beliefs. He believed that the universe was a mathematical and harmonious system created by God, and that astronomy and mathematics could reveal God's plan. However, this view was not universally accepted. His support for scientific discoveries in the Copernican system often made him a target of criticism. His personal life was also fraught with challenges. His mother, Katharina Kepler, was accused of witchcraft, bringing great stress to the family. Kepler also struggled with financial difficulties and social pressures to support his family. Despite these hardships, he never abandoned his scientific pursuits and continued his observations and calculations to uncover the laws of the cosmos. Religious and scientific tensions did not break Kepler's resolve. Instead, they strengthened his creativity. By balancing faith and reason, he sought to reveal the harmony of the universe and God's mathematical plan, securing his legacy as both a scientist and a profound philosopher. Fact 8. Kepler's religious belief and scientific approach. Johannes Kepler deeply connected his scientific discoveries with his religious beliefs. He believed that the universe was governed not only by physical laws, but also by God's mathematical and harmonious plan. This perspective inspired his scientific work and gave him the strength to uncover the secrets of the cosmos. For Kepler, stars and planets were not merely objects of observation. They moved like notes in a divine musical symphony composed by God. He did not hesitate to accept Copernicus's heliocentric system from a religious perspective. Kepler believed that this system better reflected God's harmony in the universe, and that the advancement of science increased admiration for God. For him, scientific inquiry was a form of worship, a way to understand God's perfect design. Kepler's religious view also influenced his ethical and philosophical approach. Discovering the harmony of the cosmos through science, mathematics, and astronomy strengthened his faith and deepened his trust in God. He saw scientific theories and observations not just as technical endeavors, but as a way to honor and revere God's works. Balancing religious faith and scientific pursuit was central to Kepler's life. This approach made him an unforgettable figure, not only in astronomy, but also in philosophy and the history of science. Fact 9. Kepler's legacy and influence on future generations. Johannes Kepler was not only a great astronomer of his time, but also a genius who shaped the scientific thinking of future generations. His discoveries, particularly the elliptical orbits of planets and the laws of planetary motion, laid the foundation for subsequent scientists. Kepler's work directly influenced Isaac Newton in formulating the law of gravitation and the development of classical mechanics. His writings have been used for centuries in mathematics, astronomy, and physics. In his work, Harmonices Mundi, Kepler connected the motion of planets to music and harmony, creating a unique bridge between science and philosophy. This had profound significance not only scientifically, but also culturally and philosophically. Kepler also introduced future astronomers and mathematicians to a scientific method based on evidence and observation. His precise observations and mathematical analyses demonstrated that science must rely not only on theories, but also on facts and measurements, marking a critical step in the development of scientific methodology. Kepler's legacy also lies in the integration of his religious and scientific views. He saw the universe as God's plan, and through his scientific investigations, he expanded human knowledge while expressing reverence for God. This harmonious approach made him unforgettable not only as a scientist, but also as a philosopher and thinker. Fact 10. Kepler's final years and the culmination of his scientific achievements. Johannes Kepler's final years were filled with both personal hardships and dedicated scientific work. During the 1620s, he lived amid political and religious turmoil in Germany and Austria. His Protestant faith and the ongoing religious conflicts in Europe often forced him to move frequently. He also took on extra work to support his family and manage financial difficulties. Despite these challenges, Kepler never lost his commitment to science. In his later years, he completed his laws of planetary motion and continued developing precise mathematical models in astronomy. He also prepared the Rudolphine tables, star catalogs that became invaluable resources for future astronomers. These tables were based not only on observations, but also on mathematical laws. Kepler combined his scientific work with his religious beliefs, continuing to describe the universe as God's harmonic plan. For him, scientific discoveries were not merely mathematical or astronomical achievements, they were also a way to honor God and express his faith. Kepler passed away in 1630, but his scientific legacy endured forever. His laws of planetary motion, elliptical orbits, and work on mathematical harmonies shaped not only Newton's era, but also the development of scientific thought. Kepler's life demonstrated that scientific inquiry, careful observation, mathematical analysis, and religious belief could combine to create an invaluable legacy for humanity. Johannes Kepler devoted his life to uncovering the secrets of the universe and made monumental contributions to science. His elliptical orbits and Kepler's laws revolutionized not only astronomy, but also the entire scientific framework. The harmony between his scientific and religious perspectives continues to inspire generations of scientists striving to understand the cosmos. His observations, calculations, and profound insights revealed the universe's order and harmony, guiding astronomers and inspiring people to this day. For more fascinating historical stories like subscribe and hit the bell icon.